Good morning, Lisa. How you doing?
I'm great, Dr. Keltz. How are you?
Fantastic. I always say another beautiful day in the universe.
It really is.
It is. And grateful to be alive.
Absolutely.
And I often say grateful to be experiencing the challenges and difficulties or problems we may be having, whatever it be. And I've been blessed to be able to help through the infertility process.
Yes.
And I've learned over the many years how to encompass both Eastern and Western theories, philosophies, and ways of treating.
And it's a unique approach.
It is a unique approach that's been around for
forever.
Ever.
Yeah.
And I wholeheartedly believe in Western medicine.
Yes.
And I think through our testing and treatments and experience, we know better and better how to help our patients or clients through the process. And I always believe that it's important to get the story.
Yes.
And talk to people and listen to their story, what they've experienced in the past, what they're feeling, and then also be able to share that Eastern approach, which is how to take the cortisol and epinephrine levels that are way up here for all of us in our stresses of what we're experiencing and bring them down. And I share them, and I often say this is kind of crazy stuff, but I know that it's part of the thing because I've seen so many people who in their de-stressing and letting go, although it's always hard when you hear people say just let it go and don't think about it and it'll just happen, and then it doesn't happen, and then we kind of spin around, or where do we go from here? But you got to do both.
Absolutely.
And in our Western medicine, it's important to see a specialist, someone who has some experience in Western medicine, but also begin to take the journey and the steps to looking at Eastern medicine.
Yes.
Acupuncture, massage, herbs, meditation, support group.
Yes.
And today we kind of showed up with not sure exactly what to talk about, but I wanted to kind of throw out the general approach that you need to talk to your gynecologist or a fertility specialist and give them the story. And if you're not feeling comfortable with where that story is or how it's being heard, search it out.
Yes.
There's a lot out there on the internet, but you still have to come down and try to simplify it into a simple package and begin to understand what are my Western options, whether they be simply following your natural cycles, or whether it be some intervention of ovulation induction with Clomid or gonadotropins, inseminations, or surgeries, or in vitro. I'm going to step up to donor eggs or adoption, or how to be happy where you're at.
Absolutely.
And in a short amount of our quick morning video, it's to sort of say, look at it all, write down the options, and write down the Eastern and the Western sides, and look at them and contemplate those options. Sometimes you're not sure what to do. That's an okay spot to be.
Yes.
Don't struggle with, I don't know what to do. Just say, it will come. And often in that waiting moments, it comes.
Yes.
And so I'm never sure that I've offered the right thing, but I know that if you offer and do something, something always happens.
Absolutely. I mean, we appreciate your approach to treating the whole being. And during our webinar last night, we talked about releasing control. And one of our clients approached the fact that releasing control was creating so much anxiety, but there's so much freedom in turning over the control over what you cannot control and what you can't take hold of and take responsibility for. And taking a look at both the Eastern and Western, we'll find some things that we can do and what we can't do, what we have to turn over to you, what we have to turn over to the unknown. There's a lot of freedom there.
It's huge freedom, but it's a practice because we're human beings, and in our human beingness, the instinctual nature is to react, respond, and feel as if we have control. And then when it's not happening out there as we think it's supposed to, that's when we feel like we've lost control.
Yes.
But now the next step is begin to do some of the work on the Eastern side, meditation, prayer. You got to read.
Yeah.
You have to read the ideas that we're talking about. And as you read them, you'll learn how freeing they can be.
Absolutely.
And it's a daily practice.
It is.
And we're all imperfect at it because we're meant to be imperfect at it, because we're meant to keep learning and exploring. And in the feeling like I just don't know, it says get up and read and learn and share.
Yes.
And it's amazing if you talk about the story and you journal it and write it down. Often the cortisol and epinephrine levels go down, oxytocin and serotonin levels go up, and bingo, it happens.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing these great words with us. And again, approaching the whole being and not just ignoring the other side, the mind, the spirit. We really appreciate it.
And I always say they're not separate.
Yeah.
They're all one and together. And blessings, and thank you for sharing
Thank
each
you.
day. God bless. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Pleasure.